A young mother who abandoned her infant inside a dumpster is formally charged with attempted murder. Good evening. I'm Heather Herron.
I'm Mark Mellinger. Thanks for joining us. Allison Lesh is 19. She was emotional as she appeared in DeKalb Superior Court this afternoon, where she entered a plea of not guilty.
NewsChannel 15's Janice Allen was inside the courtroom and joins us now from the courthouse with the latest.
Well, Mark and Heather, Allison Lesh could face up to 50 years behind bars for attempted murder. She allegedly gave birth and then threw her newborn baby away like trash. And tonight we are learning new shocking details about how she did it. Allison, tell us what happened. People want to know your side of the story.
They'll find out.
19-year-old Allison Lesh didn't have anything to say to our cameras as she made her way to DeKalb Superior Court, but she did become emotional as she neared the door. Inside, she was formally charged with attempted murder for allegedly wrapping her newborn baby girl inside a trash bag and tossing her inside a dumpster. Lesh had only been living here at Forest Point Apartments in Auburn for about a month, and court documents are now shedding some light on the hours leading up to the discovery of her baby. They say Lesh delivered the baby inside her bedroom late Saturday night. She then wrapped the newborn in a blanket and left her on the floor while she cleaned up the mess, showered, and tried to go to sleep. According to those documents, the next day she put the baby in a trash bag and into the dumpster as she left for work.
Floored me, absolutely floored me. She's one of the sweetest gals I know.
Friends and family surrounded Lesh as she left court today, many that seemed equally as stunned by the news as the community. Several spoke up in her defense off camera, and her uncle had this to say.
All I can say is she's not the monster that everyone is probably thinking that she is watching this broadcast. So we'll just take it through the system. She will have representation, and facts will come out.
Tonight, Lesh has posted bond and is back home, but a no-contact order has been put in place to keep her from the baby. She's due back in court in January. Live in Auburn, I'm Janice Allen, News Channel 15.
The baby is doing okay and has been put in protective custody. Court documents say she was inside that trash bag for more than 2 hours before being found.
New at 6, big changes could be coming to Allen County's sex offender registry.
A landmark decision by the Indiana Supreme Court may decrease the number of people on the list by more than a third. News Channel 15's Megan Stemble has been following this case closely, and she joins us now in News Control with what she's discovered.
Well, right now, the sex offender registration law requires anyone convicted of a sex crime to register with local police regardless of when they were convicted. But, you know, we dug a lot deeper into a recent Supreme Court ruling and tried to see how it was going to affect the state and the registries around the state. And we learned that it essentially creates potential for anyone convicted before mid-1994 to be taken off the registry.
The Indiana Supreme Court case, Richard Wallace versus the state of Indiana, is an 18-page document with a conclusion that could echo across the state. Wallace was convicted of a child molesting charge in 1988. He completed his sentence in 1992, 2 years before legislators passed the Sex Offender Registration Act into law. Given that timeline, the Indiana Supreme Court says making Wallace register as a sex offender is unconstitutional because it violates the state's ban on ex post facto laws. Allen County Deputy Prosecutor Michael McAlexander says it best.
Our Constitution does not allow you to look at an event first and then decide, well, that should be against the law, and then retroactively enforce it against people.
In Allen County alone, of the 650 people registered as sex offenders, 245 people could potentially be affected by the Wallace case. That's about 37% of the registered sex offenders in Allen County. That's 37% that won't have to check in with local authorities or have their addresses and other personal information available to their neighbors on the registry website.
I don't get to interpret the law. My job is to enforce the law. I don't have to like it, but we have to apply the law the way the courts tell us to. That's the bottom line.
Now, an offender has to file a motion with local court officials to get themselves taken off the registry. A handful of people in Allen County have done so. Reporting live in News Control, I'm Megan Stemble, News Channel 15.